Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Tonight's film is 1986's Malibu Bikini Shop. This is a cut VHS box here. There was a previous rental box, it looks like, and you can see the back images here. This is Malibu Bikini Shop, and this has only been put out on VHS. It's never had a proper DVD release. By CBS Fox, VHS 1986. The actual copyright at the closing credits of the film is 1985, but we have a VHS copy in 1986. Right here, once again, the Malibu Bikini Shop. This particular film was a film that I remember seeing when I was a teenager on the USA Network, the former USA Network, when they used to have a show called USA Up All Night with Rhonda and Gilbert Gottfried. And this film is a solid snapshot, a solid piece of this is a chunk of California youth freedom here, folks. This is a movie that is just a time and a place that you probably want to go to. This is 1980s California, young love, freedom, sexuality, good times, parties, dancing, and some fantasy wildness here, folks. This is Malibu Bikini Shop, a healthy dose of... You got your kind of your sex comedy, your teen sex comedy. You also got love story. You also got some drama. You got some wild, weird characters. And you got a healthy dose also of some crazy dance sequences and choreography. And even some weird kind of wild fantasy style here, folks. There's a lot in this film. So let's get right to it. First off, if you like teen sex comedies, Malibu Bikini Shop is going to give you that, but it's also going to give you something else. It's going to possibly give you something, it's going to give you a storyline, a pretty heavy storyline, with some twists and some turns and things like that. So it's not all TNA, it's not all sex really at all. You also have a story. You also have kind of saving the summer times, you know, kind of banding together and saving the summer. But there's even some romance and some relationships in here too that are also pretty interesting, and a healthy dose of comedy. Also, I keep saying healthy. This is not a healthy film. Lots of comedy and, like I said, wild characters. So let's get right to it. Let's start off with the soundtrack to this film. Malibu Bikini Shop really has... By the way, folks, this is the Malibu Bikini Shop, actually, it is, has a wild soundtrack. I mean, it's all original music. You know, a lot of these types of sex comedies from the 80s and even the 70s, but it's especially the 80s, had a lot of original music made just for the film, never released in any other format. And this is a case like this. Like, you look at the film like Screwball Hotel that I've done a review for on this YouTube page as well. This is another case of that. This movie is chock full of music that there's never been a soundtrack, as far as I know, released for this film, and you probably the songs in this film are probably not released in any other format or anywhere else but in this film. And it looked like they were mostly all produced by the same people. Probably they had connections to this film, so on and so forth. The music in this film is just awesome 80s music. If you like 80s pop, if you like 80s rock, the Malibu Bikini Shop is going to give it to you. This is 80s pop, 80s rock, 80s pop rock that is just filled with California vibes and freedom and the best of the 80s, the best of the California just sexual freedom and good times, which is always kind of a piece of this genre of film, you know, kind of the sexual freedom, being young, partying and just relaxing and having a good time. But this film really focuses on sections of that in a different way. So let's get to the style of this film. You know, this film has some pretty wild style that I was not prepared for, to be honest with you. This film has a lot of style for this genre. Essentially, what we have here, we have a dream sequence, and we also have some like very bizarre, surreal. What is happening? Is it happening in our heads? Is it happening in their heads? Sequences that are choreographed dance sequences, complete with fog and mirrors and red fog, which could be a burning sulfur. I don't know what it is. Red fog, white fog, and we have these elaborate types of dress-ups and sequences and choreography. We have some really cool shots. There's a really cool shot in the middle of a tire, and these tires are, in a way, there's tires seen at the end of the film also. I don't know if this is I just thought of that just now. But there's a lot of style in this film. The film was really well shot. There's great sun glare right when you need it in the California sun. You got great angles in this film. Of course, you're getting shots of bikinis. You're getting shots of butts and breasts and legs and thighs and all that great stuff. This is a film that really has a lot of style. This does not look cheaply made. This film looks like it has a little bit more of a budget, and like I said before, there's lots to look at. There's high energy in this film, and even on VHS, it looked really clean. It looked really great, even on this old VHS tape. When we look at the characters in this film, this is a film that's filled with characters, and similar to this genre, folks, why this sex comedy genre is so fascinating and so awesome and so underground and nobody talks about it, is because it's so many weird characters. It's like, why would these characters be in this? You know what I'm saying? We have a weird kind of monk, religious zealot, meditation guru. We have this wild kind of FedEx guy who's shipping a box. You'll see him at one point in the film. He's the best laugh and humor like ever. You'll see this one girl that plays a fiance to one of the guys. She is really playing a weird role in this film, because typically she does not play a role like this, and her acting chops are in full force because she's in the film The Beach Girls, which I'll be reviewing soon on this YouTube page, in a totally different type of role. But we have, like kind of annoying, rich, snobby characters. We have a bunch of these like kind of teen boys, like, young teen boys who kind of are just gallivanting around and ripping women's clothing off, and they also have a big point in the storyline also. And there's just so many different people. Obviously, the two leads are two brothers. Essentially, we have two brothers. One is really laid back. He doesn't do much. He travels around and sleeps at his friends' houses. The other brother went to business school. He has his whole future planned out. He's engaged. And what starts to happen here, folks, is that Malibu takes over. Basically, they have a bikini shop that was left as an inheritance to them by their wild aunt, who was pretty sexual and crazy, and who died in a very black comedy type of way. There's some dark humor here. And so basically, that we're faced with the whole idea of why'd I do that? I don't know. We're faced with the whole idea of, what is love? You're young, you should be free. And we get into this area of saving the Malibu bikini shop that was left as an inheritance in this amazing beach house also, which is real. It's not a set. This film, like I said, just breathes California air, freedom, the beach, the sun, no rain, warmth. And obviously bikinis in the title, so this film is filled with bikinis. This is the ultimate bikini film. There is some nudity in this film, mostly all topless, but not a tremendous amount. But it's there. You even get a butt shot also. You got two-way mirrors also, which is a pretty wild shot of let's just say a woman that Russ Meyer would have approved of. And essentially you have these two brothers who are kind of like opposites, who then start to obviously the one who is so serious and so businesslike really starts to be influenced by the more carefree brother in this film. And essentially we have kind of a man, just kind of reclaiming their youth and their brotherhood and what California, on the beach is all about. This is a film that really has kind of we gotta save something, and then they kind of band together, and we have montages and we have music where people are trying to make something happen. So you have that in there, and you also have girls getting their clothes ripped off and two-way mirrors watching them change, and things like that, and kind of crazy cops. And look carefully, because one of the cops in this film is in Halloween 6 as the horrible dad who gets electrocuted in one of the versions. But anyway, this is a film where we have, obviously your typical just wild characters, all these different people that come to try to buy the store. We have, older couples where, women are kind of in control of the men, and the men are unhappy and they're looking at the younger girls in Malibu. You have all this kind of stuff. Essentially, the Malibu Bikini Shop is a call to arms. It's a call to arms of having a good time, of youth, of freedom, of breaking up when you need to. This is a movie that really kind of reclaims fun. Fun seems to be a theme in this film, and but this is a film that has wild characters, great style. There's even camouflage, military themes running in this film with bikinis. Yeah, pretty nuts. But you have all of this wildness here. You have crazy parties outside, crazy house parties. But this is not a film that is as explicit as most teen sex comedies. You do, like I said, you did have some sex scenes that aren't very explicit, some implied oral, things like that. Like I said, boobs. All the girls are 80s attractive. They all look like they're from California. Even the guys, the girls are probably going to like the two main brothers, representing two different sides, kind of like the California surfer dude and then the real business guy, academic guy. So there's great people in here. The acting is actually really awesome. I really love the laid back brother Todd. He's freaking awesome. And this is just a beach bum movie that has a solid story and some fun and some characters that you're gonna be rooting for the brothers. You're gonna be rooting for them in this film, and you're also gonna be having a lot of fun watching boobs and shenanigans, and as they call hijinks in the teen sex comedy genre. Folks, this is an awesome movie if you want a teen sex comedy and you also want a pretty heavy story with romance, love, saving a bikini shop, any types of films that have like a shop or a hotel. This is the Malibu Bikini Shop, and that's what the movie's called. Here it is, folks, 1986's Malibu Bikini Shop. Man, how can you beat this? And I'm going to tell you right here that it was written and directed by David Wechter. Okay, David Wechter. 98 minutes long. There it is, Malibu Bikini Shop. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. There's Private Parts 1972 right behind me. Check out all my other reviews on this page, including tons of Jess Franco and tons of exploitation, horror, all that stuff that I believe needs a voice. Check out my own personal films at youtube.com/poopy diarrhea. Thank you.